Hi, my name is Paul. Welcome to this walkthrough of Ludo.net for Windows Phone. When the app starts, it takes you right into a game of Ludo. If you've played a game already, it will continue from where you left off last time. If not, a new game is started with one human player playing as red, and 3 opponent players played by the phone. The red player starts. You can see that by the action on the red tile telling the red player to roll the dice. Tap the dice to roll. You have to roll a 6, to move a piece out of the house. If you don't get a 6, the turn is passed on to the next player. An arrow indicates that you should move a piece. Tap any piece to move it out of the house. Every time you roll a 6, the turn is not passed to the next player, meaning you can roll the dice once more. If you're lucky, you can get several 6s in a row, and make a great progress in the game on one turn. If you happen to move a piece to the same square as an opponent's piece, the opponent's piece is turned in. That means the piece is moved back into the house, and he'll have to start all over again with that piece. If 2 or more pieces land on the same square, they form a block. A block cannot be passed by other players, but still your own pieces can move past your own block. Be careful where you form a block, because other players will soon fill up the squares behind your block and form blocks too, so don't form a block close to your own goal. Their goal is to get all pieces around the board and onto the path of your color towards the triangle in the middle of the board. The first player to get all 4 pieces into the goal has won the game. Still, the game continues until all players have reached their goals. At any time, you can start a new game by tapping the New Game button in the app bar. This takes you to the New Game screen. Here you can choose how many players you want in the game, and whether they are played by the phone or a human. The red player must always participate in the game. It's always the red player that starts. If you happen to go to the New Game screen while in the middle of a game, you can press the back button to return to your ongoing game and continue. To actually start a new game, you tap the Start button on the screen. We now start a new game with a red player played by a human and a green player played by the phone. You can also start a game where all players are played by the phone. On the settings page, you can adjust the speed of phone players. The default setting is slow, so it's easy to see what actions the phone players take. However, you soon get tired of slow players, so you probably want to speed them up a bit. No problem, you can choose another speed setting in the middle of a game. The fast setting is actually quite fast. You can also select another theme for the app. The default theme matches the modern style of the Windows Phone. The gradient theme is the old design that was used for the first 3 versions of the app. It's a bit more colorful. The setting is stored until next time you start the app. To apply the selected theme, you have to restart the app. You do that by pressing the Start button of your phone to return to the home screen, and then start Ludo.net again. Ludo is a classic board game with many variations around the world. If you're used to play by different rules, there are a couple to choose from when you start a new game. More rules will be added in future versions of the app. From the new game screen, you slide to the right to get to the game options. Here you see which rules are going to be applied when you start a new game. These are additional features of the app, so you have to buy a rule for a small amount of money to unlock it. You do so by pressing the button that tells the price in your local currency. Before you're charged for the game rule, you have to confirm the in-app purchase. This follows the pattern for all in-app purchases in the Windows Phone store. When the purchase has been made, you return to the new game page, and the rule will be unlocked. Let's try to enable the roll 3 times rule and start a new game, to see how that works. With the roll 3 times rule applied, you can roll the dice up to 3 times to get a 6. You can do this, as long as all of your pieces are in the house, or some are in the goal, while the rest is in the house. This rule makes it a bit more even, in the way that a player gets pieces faster out of the house, if all pieces are turned in. The second game rule, form blocks, is turned on by default. When this rule is unlocked, it can be turned off. Do so if you don't like that 2 or more pieces on top of each other blocks other players from passing that square. But be aware that all pieces will be turned in if another player happens to land on your stack of pieces. To see various information about Ludo.net, bring up the menu at the game screen, and tap the About menu item. Here you can find a link to the app's webpage, write a review of the app for the Windows Phone store, or see the changelog for the current and all previous release versions of the app. On the last page, there are links to other apps you can try out. Ludo.net is also available for free in the Windows Store. That means you can install the app on a PC or tablet running Windows 8 or Windows RT. That's it for the walkthrough of version 1.4. Please visit the app's homepage or YouTube to look for updated videos about future versions of the app. Have fun playing Ludo.net, and tell your friends if you like it.